Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
This is not difficult. For each of 5 airlines, airline 1 through airline 5. So all this data is for last year. So for example, for airline 1, 8.5% of its flights were delayed between 1 and 15 minutes. 6.5% of airline 1's flights were delayed between 16 and 30 minutes. 5.8% of airline 1's flights were delayed between 31 and 45 minutes, and so on. And if you add them up, right, 8.5 plus 6.5 plus 5.8 plus 2.1 plus 1.6, that comes out to be 24.5. In other words, last year, 24.5% of airline 1's flights were delayed, 26.2% of airline 2's flights were delayed, and so on. So this data is not difficult to understand. Now, this statement, right, must it be true or need not be true? Airline 2 had the greatest number of flights last year that were delayed by 1 to 15 minutes. 1 to 15 minutes, airline 2. 1 to 15 minutes, airline 2 is this. So what do you think? This statement, must it be true or need not be true? Airline 2 had the greatest number of flights last year that were delayed by 1 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I thought this was not difficult, guys. What do you think about this statement? Yeah, let's see. True. Okay, Siddhant is saying true. Does anyone have a different opinion? Now, notice, I think this was an information that perhaps you missed, that the airlines are numbered from greatest total number of flights offered last year to the least total number of flights offered last year. Total number of flights that were offered were the highest for airline 1, then airline 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, right? So think about it, guys. Think about it. I'm just presenting some, just assuming some numbers. Let's say airline 1 offered, let's say total 100 flights, right? And airline 2 offered, let's say, total 50 flights, correct? So now, since we are talking about 1 to 15 minutes, so can you tell me how many flights of airline 1 had between 1 to 15-minute delay? 8.5. I know this, it cannot be in decimal, but this is just for the sake of argument, right? So total of 8.5 flights of airline 1 had a delay between 1 and 15. Okay, similarly, how many flights of airline 2 had a delay between 1 to 15 minutes? 9.2% of 50, because 50 was the total number, right? That incidentally would come out to be 46, I think. No, oh, sorry, 4.6, right? 4.6. right? So clearly then the airline 2 did not have the greatest number of flights that were delayed in this category, right? On the other hand, so basically, on the other hand, if it was, again, I'm just giving an example. If this was, let's say, I'm just giving an example. If this was total is 100 flights here, total is, let's say, 99 flights were offered by airline 2. In that case, airline 2 would have the greatest number of flights that were delayed, right? So I mean, you could do the calculation, by the way. Here it would be obviously 8.5 flights, and in this case, how much for airline 2 would be how much, guys? It would be 9.2% of 99, right? Which would be 9.11. 9.11. So clearly, if this is the data, then airline 2 indeed would have greatest number of flights that were delayed by 0. So since we don't have this data, so we cannot conclude that airline 2 had the greatest number of flights. Siddhant, are we clear?
It's clear, sir.
Okay, all right. Now let's come to this. Airline 5 had the least number of flights last year that were delayed by more than 60 minutes. Airline 5, more than 60 minutes. So we are looking at this data. Airline 5 had the least number of flights last year, obviously among all the 5 airlines that were delayed by more than 60 minutes. What do you think about this? Must be true or need not be true? This, I think, if you have understood, yeah, if you've understood the data, this should not have been difficult. Should not have been difficult. Very nice. So must be true. Now the thing is, notice this percentage is the least, correct? Percentage. So how do you convert the percentage into actual number of delays? 1.2% of total number of flights offered by airline 5. Agreed? But then airline 5 anyway has the least number of flights among the 5 airlines, right? So this is 1.2% of the least number. So this clearly would be very nice, the least number of flights that were delayed by more than 60 minutes among the 5 airlines. So must be true. Very nice. Okay, let's look at the final one. Airline 3 did not have the least number of total delayed flights last year. Total delayed flights is obviously this airline 3. So this one. Airline 3 did not have the least number of total delayed flights last year. What do you think? Okay, we have a quick answer here, and the answer is must be true. Is that the answer, Dhanush? Must be true. Okay, all right. So Dhanush is saying must be true. Airline 3 did not have least number of total delayed flights last year. Dhanush, why are you saying must be true for this one? Sorry, Dhanush, can you be
Because
louder?
because it's not like it's not at the lowest order of
Very
like
nice. Yes. Yes, go ahead, go
it's
ahead.
not ordered lowest, and then it can be that 5 had a like lower number.
All right, all right. I think we are in the right direction. I think we are in the right direction. Let's look at the statement again. Airline 3 did not have the least number of total delayed flights last year. Total delayed flights. This is kind of worded
Airline
in a
4,
yeah.
we can figure out that airline 4 is lowest. So
Now that's the thing. That's the thing. Notice this is in terms of number, right? Number of total delays, correct? So number of total delays would be for airline 3, it would be 23% of N3, which is N3, I'm assuming is the total number of flights offered by airline 3. How about airline 4? What is the total number of delays? 20.3% of total number of flights offered by airline 4, correct? And we also know that N4 is lesser than N3, correct? Because this is ordered in decreasing order. This is sequenced in decreasing order of the total number of airlines offered. Now, if you look at it, if you look at these two figures, notice this is 23% of a higher number, while this is 20.3% of a lower number. So very, very clear that at the very least, airline 4, the total number of delays was lesser than the total number of delays of airline 3. Friends, are we clear with this? This is, notice, smaller percentage of a smaller number, right? This is 20.3. I'm just comparing these two, right? 20.3 is smaller than 23. So this is smaller percentage of a smaller number. This is larger percentage of a larger number. So clearly this will be number of delays, total number of delays would be definitely lesser for airline 4 than for airline 3. So airline 3 definitely was not the lowest. Got me? Are we clear? All right. Okay, so let's proceed then. Any doubt, guys?